Hello everyone, and welcome once again to another instalment of We're All Off on a Bosman's Holiday. Britain might want to leave the EU, but Bazadi most certainly wants to be at the heart of Europe, which is why we're in Brussels, home of the European Parliament and also home of Anderlecht, the most famous football team in Brussels, once holding the accolade of the most famous football team in Belgium. I'm not quite so sure that's the case, but we are seeking to revive their glories. They are looking to usurp Club Brugge as the top team in Belgium these days, and Bazadi will be looking to guide them to riches beyond their wildest dreams and football immemorial glory. Right, we've got a couple of matches. We're also at the halfway stage of this match against Sporting Charleroi. This has been a bit of a test, not quite as comfortable as the opening two fixtures that we have experienced. We defeated Anderlecht, we did play against ourselves, Antwerp, defeated Antwerp 2-0 in the first match of the season, a team who seemed more content just to try and absorb pressure and avoid a hammering, but we did prevail 2-0 there. Then we had our first home fixture of the season, a slightly testier one, a slightly more problematic occasion as KV Ostend came to play. They came with a big desire to attack. They put us under pressure. They even took the lead, and we had to score two late goals to salvage that one, but we did ultimately come through that by 2-1, but at least the resilience and character of the squad was put to the test, and they proved that they can cope when they're under pressure. Today, half-time against Sporting Charleroi, a team that has undergone various changes in fortune in recent history. They used to be, well, rubber ducks really, dead rubbers in the Belgian Pro League. They always used to consistently fight manfully against relegation, but they have since had a bit of money invested in them, and they are now keen to qualify for the Europa League. So we've gone through a very demanding first half. In fact, just looking at some of the highlights here, Goncalves on the left, he's been a constant menace for us. We've struggled really to shackle him and put the frighteners on him. And there's a header again. You can see these are all Charleroi chances, and that Walloon hospitality is starting to diminish and wane a bit at the moment as we struggle in the rain at the Albert Park. Charleroi is one of those nice places in the south of Belgium. I say nice. When you come into the town on the outskirts, it looks all very oldie-worldy and aesthetically pleasing and baroque. Then you get to the city centre and you realise that it is, well, it's a glorified housing estate, really. Not one of the most salubrious or nicest places I've ever visited in my life, but the football team are restoring a bit of pride to the local community. Let's just give them that. So, we're about to embark on the second half. We'll maintain the same starting 11 in this rather natty and avant-garde 3-4-2-1 formation. Effectively, out on the field of play, this does come across more as a 3-5-2 when we're attacking and a 5-3-2 when we're defending. So we've got Teodorovic, the big Polish target man up front, and he's supported wide left by Hane, wide right by Gerkens, and tucked in behind the two wide men we've got Amazu providing defensive cover on the left, and Chipichu providing the same strategy on the right. We've got Trebel and Coombs, who have thus far dominated the midfield for Anderlecht. They have been absolutely superlative. Nothing has been able to get past them. They've had a bit of a more demanding occasion this afternoon because Charleroi have certainly put their own stamp and impression on the midfield, and we have toiled to deal with that. And then the back three, we've got De Schacht, the guru, the hero, the legendary Anderlecht centre-half, Den Donker, who's been attracting a lot of Premiership interest of late, and Spasic, a guy I confess I hadn't heard of before we started this FIFA 2018 save. Remember, you can contact us on our YouTube video, Bazadi 610 is the tube channel name. We're also available for irrelevant football chat and natter on Offside Pies, our Twitter feed. We are fanatics about football, so if you have anything you want to discuss, either about football in general, out there in the real world, or indeed in the little cosseted, cosy world of FIFA 2018 make-believe, then you can have the opportunity and the forum to discuss all things football related, whether that be virtual or in reality, on our Twitter feed, Offside Pies. That's offside_pies. pies. So we'll get into the second half. And don't forget, in tandem with this, our European FIFA 2018 save, which is quite catchily called, as I said, We're All Off on a Bosman's Holiday. We also have an English League 2 save involving Forest Green Rovers, which was the original Pyramid to Premiership save. That's still ongoing. Well, it's ongoing at the moment because I am still, certainly the last time I checked, the Forest Green Rovers manager, but my manager rating has been plummeting faster than, well, what, a stone in water. We really are toiling there. We need a real miracle to try and revive our season. We started as promotion hopefuls. We've now plummeted to relegation candidates, but that's on Pyramid to Premiership. There'll be another video involving Forest Green Rovers and Pyramid to Premiership tomorrow. You can catch all the videos. They're all uploaded on our YouTube channel, and they are linked via our Twitter channel on Offside Pies as well. So that's the YouTube channel, I'll reiterate, BazAD610, and Offside Pies. You can type in offside_pies on a search engine and you will get in contact with us. So second half, let's hope we can indeed show a bit more vigour, a bit more gumption, a bit more attacking intent, because that first half, frankly, was a void of creativity from an Anderlecht point of view. We had players marauding forward, leaving gaps at the back, irresponsibly switching out of position without cover. We really do have to rein that in the second half as Den Donker lays the ball wide to De Schacht. De Schacht looking for an option, tries to play. Oh, that's a good pass from De Schacht, but there's Marinos, who had a wonderful first half for Charleroi, getting his foot in and blocking the shot as Grange comes forward, turns inside his man, deft footwork, flicks the ball towards the back post. This is going to have to be dealt with by Chip Hugh. He does so rather elegantly. The shot comes in and flicks the base of the post. That was a lovely snapshot there, and let's just see who got on the end of that. I think it was Dionde who managed to deal with the ball dropping out of the sopping wet sky. Didn't take a touch, just hit it first time, and the snapshot bounced into the ground. But fortunately, from an Anderlecht point of view, the ball also clipped the outside of the post and spun wide. So there's a let-off for Anderlecht. There's another warning that Charleroi are not here purely to make up the numbers, and we really do have to get a grip on this as Coombs tries to... that's pathetic from Coombs. Tries to lay the ball inside, but it's well read by the Charleroi defence, and Benavente comes forward again. Not quite sure what that was, but equally I'm not quite sure what De Schacht was trying to do. I think he was trying to control that ball, and he completely made a mess of it, and Charleroi have the throw-in as they make a double substitution. Babby comes on for Grange. That's a bit of a relief because Grange, there's Babby immediately putting us under pressure, and Sells. Oh, what are you doing, Sells? That was a dangerous ball. He's rolled it to the 6-yard box, and somehow Anderlecht managed to foil Charleroi as it looked easier to score. I think Charleroi panicked a bit at the quality of the opportunity that came their way, and De Schacht had to slide in, and now Anderlecht are trying to just compose themselves and calm down. Well, that all emanated from Sells not paying attention, just rolling the ball out without due care and attention. It did go to an Anderlecht player, but he was taken aback to see the ball at his feet, wasn't expecting it, and that enabled the Charleroi player to nip in and cause all sorts of consternation in the Anderlecht 6-yard box, and we are incredibly fortunate to come out of that with our lead, or not our lead, but our goal still intact. Oh, if only we had a lead. That really is a bit of a dream at the moment because we've created nothing in the second half. Here's Gerkens looking for an opportunity. That's a lovely ball from Gerkens. He's Teodorovic, but the pole again, he's well out of position. A chance now for Gerkens. Will he shoot? He strides into the box. Oh, and the effort isn't quite what he intended, but it does force the goalkeeper into a save. Alas, we have indeed forced Royal Charleroi goalkeeper into some form of action this afternoon. He gets double palms to that, flicks it round the post, and I suppose in these wet, slippery conditions that is exceptional goalkeeping. But we have the corner. We've exerted our first chance of the match, our first pressure on the header, and there's the chance, and Teodorovic was at the back post, and I wondered if he thought he was offside, but that should have been 1-0. There's the header. It's knocked into Teodorovic at the back post at the angle, and he just lashes at it and thumps it wide. That really should have been 1-0 Anderlecht. Bit more composure there from Teodorovic, and that would have been 1-0 Anderlecht, but at the moment the struggle continues. De Schacht plenty of space. Charleroi starting to sit off now. Coombs running at them. He's got two options ahead of him. The Anderlecht player avoids the sliding challenge. Here's Gerkens. Gerkens just can't get that ball released quickly enough, and Royal Charleroi come forward again. Goncalves, he's cut inside a bit. Nurio punts that ball forward. That should be dealt with by Spasic. He's made a mess of it though, and it drops kindly for Anderlecht. Pollitt on the, or rather Charleroi, Pollitt on the edge of the box, and that ball back into the 18-yard area is controlled by Spasic. Pollitt again knocks it out now to Dionde, but he is dispossessed and robbed by Trebel, and Anderlecht now have the counter-attack, and he just had to hold his run there, Teodorovic, but now here's Hani, and Teodorovic has now drifted into the middle. If Hani looks up, gets the cross in, oh, that's a lovely cross, and there's a lovely finish, and Anderlecht have the lead. At last we have put together a move of real attacking quality. Gerkens with the late run into the penalty area, lovely cross by Hani, and Gerkens just steers, guides the ball into the bottom corner of the net, and Anderlecht, against all expectations after that first half performance where we created absolutely nothing, have now taken the lead, and Charleroi hold their heads in despair. They've been the more likelier team to score, but Anderlecht have popped up with a moment of real genius. Peter Gerkens, his first goal of the season on 83 minutes, 7 minutes to spare, and Anderlecht have perhaps stolen the 3 points. Well, we did say when we were playing poorly against Ostend that it's an old maxim, even the poor teams or the better teams, when they're playing poorly, if they can pick up points, then that really is the sign of championship potential. And Anderlecht will hope that that maxim does indeed apply to them as Royal Charleroi try and rescue the tie. They've really been unfortunate. You've got to feel sorry for them as Pollock cracks it in. It's speculative, it's high, it's way over the bar, and no wonder he looks disappointed. Anderlecht just need to see this out now. Just composed pressure is what's needed. They don't need to allow any silly mistakes to allow Charleroi in, and Spasic just thumps that anywhere. Chipichu goes up for the ball. Goncalves controls, gets it back to Nurio, back to Calves. Here's Goncalves raging down the right wing and plays it into Benavente. Oh, it's a good cross. Sells comes out and claims that confidently. There's a real aura of authority about him. And we're into the 90th minute. In fact, there is the final whistle. Anderlecht have won this match by 1-0. Peter Gerkens' 83rd minute strike. A lovely cross from Hani, and Gerkens just ran onto the ball, used the pace and momentum of the cross to just guide the ball into the bottom corner of the net, and Anderlecht have the 1-0 victory. And you have to say, Charleroi, they can feel a little bit discontented by this. They can feel a little aggrieved that they didn't at least get a point, because Charleroi were the team that were involved in all the attacking activity. Anderlecht really failed to get going. One flash of their creative ability, and that was sufficient to get through the tie. So that's 3 consecutive victories at the start of the season for Anderlecht, but well, we'll be hoping that we can apply ourselves a bit more vigorously, that we can play a lot more creatively in our next match. Evening game today is St. Troiden against Standard Liège. We'll just flick on and move beyond that. But that's the type of performance that you really just have to sit back and say, well, we didn't play well, but we did manage to achieve the critical objective, and that was to get the 3 points. We're not top of the league, though. Club Brugge have that honour at the moment on goal difference. It's Club Brugge on 9 points. Anderlecht on 9 points, and Ghent just tucked in behind, a point adrift on 8 points. Top goal scorers, we don't have one of those either. It's Chevalier of Kortrijk who's top of the goal scoring charts at the moment. So Kortrijk, one of those clubs who have somewhat receded over recent years. Under the ex-Belgian international manager Georges Lakens, they were a force to be reckoned with. In fact, a provisional club who were probably punching above their weight, but they seem to have gone backwards and taken a retrograde step back towards challenging against relegation as opposed to promotion and the European places. So we've got away with it there. There's no question about that. All the plaudits, all the praise goes to Royal Charleroi for that match as we prepare for our next fixture, which will be coming up in the next show of We're All Off on a Bosman's Holiday. That will be appearing tomorrow. We're against St. Troidense. Could be a very difficult task. St. Troidense are one of the clubs who you don't really know what to expect from them. And here we go. We've had a transfer offer coming in, £2.7 million from Malaga for Frank Buxa. Well, Buxa is by no means a regular first-team player, so we'll need to give that some serious consideration, some hard cash in the kitty as we prepare for our own Europa League campaign is perhaps what's required. We need to have some flexibility in the transfer market, and any amount of money that can come in for a player that is nowhere near the first-team reckoning will be gratefully appreciated. Okay, so hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give us a massive thumbs up on the details below, and if you have any comments that you wish to make, any recollections, any reminiscences about your viewing pleasure with Anderlecht, or if you think you can work out a tactic that can perhaps make us a bit more creatively expansive in the next match against St. Troida, do not hesitate to put down your thoughts below this video. You can also contact us on our Twitter feed, as I said earlier. That's Offside Pies, offside_pies, and this is Bazadi saying goodbye.